So Dungeonland is basically about this evil guy called Dungeon Master. And he was a pretty run-of-the-mill evil guy, right? He had evil world domination plans, a tower, monsters, things like that. But he was getting kind of tired of the heroes always screwing with his plans and killing his monsters. And he thought to himself, you know what? I think I have a knack for attracting this kind of people, you know. So I think I'm gonna go build a theme park for these guys to come. So I can make money out of them. And if they die, well, it's a win-win for me, right?
Yeah, it's great business for dungeon lords.
Oh yeah, so he just built Dungeonland. It may look like an action RPG, but it's not at all. We like to describe it as a blend between Gauntlet and Left 4 Dead. So you have that fast action-paced arcade brawler kind of feel that you would get from Gauntlet or from Golden Axe, things like that. But you also have a very strong focus on cooperation and working together and randomization.
Because it's hard. You need to play with your friends. You're not an invincible god, you know, kind of character.
Lone wolf guy.
No, if you go lone wolf, you're gonna get killed, horribly killed. You need your friends. It is a true multiplayer experience when you're talking about the PvE experience of Dungeonland.
Yeah, we were just talking about with the Paradox guys. That's the beauty of doing PC, that you can do whatever you want. So you're not confined to this kind of input, this kind of gameplay. So we're bringing an experience to PC gaming that we think it's kind of not lost, but rare nowadays, is that local co-op kind of thing. So Dungeonland is built for that. Of course, we have online. You can play online with your friends. You can even mix and match online and local players, drop in, drop out, anything you want. But we built it for that couch experience, you know, 3 guys in front of a TV or a monitor with gamepads in their hands, yelling at each other and trying to work together to get through this very, very hard and unforgiving game. Our first ever prototype we built with just these ugly balls you saw, no animation, no anything. It was actually kind of like classic tank, healer, damage dealer kind of thing, but as the design evolved, we got rid of that. So today is much more organic. We have the roles are more distributed. So you can have a rogue that heals, you can have a mage that tanks, and you can have the goal, since the enemies and everything, the gameplay is not an RPG, the gameplay is an action game. You don't get to like, you don't need that guy to tank, you don't need a guy to heal, because you can play and never take any hits. Or you can play and kill everything inside.
It's very, very skill-based.
Yeah, exactly. It's not step-based at all.
And since we have all the perks and everything that you can add to your character and you can customize it, every time you play you get a different, depending on the formation of your party. Like, you don't have to play rogue, mage and warrior. You can play 3 warriors, 3 rogues, 2 rogues and a mage, 3 mages, whatever. And then all also have a lot of differences between themselves, you know, the subclasses and the perks and the weapons and whatnot. So when you mix those guys up, you can get pretty much anything. Like the gameplay really varies a lot, since all the monsters are randomized and all the dungeons and everything. So that makes a very different experience every time you play it. And I mean, that's what we're looking for, and I think we're achieving.
Exactly. And the other thing that we think is very unique about our game, in the PvE mode, to make things ever replayable, ever different, we have the Dungeon Master. The Dungeon Master AI, when you play the PvE mode, he'll act pretty much like the AI director in Left 4 Dead. He'll see what the party is doing. He will randomize the monster positions. He will do the danger events that come in these big waves of monsters that come from time to time. He'll put out chests and barrels and things and sheep in different places, so the experience is always different. And the great innovation that we're bringing is that there's a mode called Dungeon Master mode, where you get to that role of the Dungeon Master is no longer an AI, is a live human player. So you get the 3 guys playing against the 4th guy, and this 4th guy plays the Dungeon Master. So he gets to play, he customizes his loadout with monsters and spells and bosses and passive bonuses and things like that. And he tries to kill the heroes before they reach the end of the dungeon. And you even get to play as the boss.
Yeah, and you play in a RTS kind of view. So you have a tactical view of the map and everything, and the heroes are coming through, and you're trying to put traps and tricks and monsters and whatnot. And any time you want to, you can possess a monster and become one of the monsters of the game. So you can play just like one of the heroes, but in the monster side. And we have like, I don't know, 20 something monsters, and they all have different skills and different attacks and stuff. So, and you can also put traits that help your...
Yes, when you possess a monster, you, on top of all those monsters' unique abilities, you still have your ability as a dungeon master that you select in your loadout. So right now we have 2. We may increase that after release. So you can get a teleport, or you can get a heal, so you can like support your monsters when you're possessing, or you can be more like an assassin jumping in and out.
Yeah, we really want to give players the choice, you know, how they want to play with the dungeon master, and that's fun. It's a lot of fun. It takes everything that we like from the PvE, so the heroes are all always going to deal with different situations and an ever-changing pacing based on the dungeon master actions. And the dungeon master has the ability to do whatever he wants up there. It's a very powerful kind of feeling, and you have the evil left button that you can spam and just laugh your ass. And just be a jerk. So.
And it's so easy to be a jerk because the game is already so hard. So when the guys are like struggling to get the last minute save, you can just deploy a danger event and just
turn someone into a sheep and, and laugh at it. So.
I assume the evil laugh shows up on there.
Yeah,
yes,
definitely. Yeah.
That's the whole purpose of it.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, the game is in closed beta right now. The signups for that are, I think, are closed. So if you're in, you're in. It's up for Paradox, I guess, if they're going to do more beta or not. We're not aware of that. Probably they're going to scale that up. And the game is coming out in early first quarter, I guess January in 2013, $9.99.
Yep, and that's it. It's hard, it's fun, it's supposed to be couch play, get your buddies together, grab a beer, and have a lot of fun and scream at the monitor because it's going to be hard, it's going to punish you. And whenever you finish the impossible difficulty, you're going to feel like a very rewarding feeling, which is what we were looking for. So that's why it has only hard, harder, and impossible difficulties. So don't let yourself be fooled by the looks of it. Oh, yeah. And it's bloody and hard. Because the beautiful thing with Dungeonland is that it does have this moment where it clicks.
Yeah.
At first you're like, okay, I'm just lost here, it's kind of weird, blah, blah. And then you start playing with your buddies, and that's something that is hard to convey. When you look at screenshots and you have a lot of preconceptions about, you know, this kind of games, it's really hard to if you haven't played it with people, it's hard to not think about, you know, any other hack and slash that you've played before.
Because I guess the biggest challenge for us now that we're so close to release is that we can clearly communicate to people what kind of game this is, because like Gabriel said, it's really hard for people to grasp what's unique about the game without playing it, because you look at the videos, look at the screenshot, you think, oh, this is like a Torchlight clone or something, and really doesn't play like that at all. So when you sit down and play it, and not with the bots, but the bots are there mostly for you to learn how to play, for you to get acquainted with it, get your first experience. But it's meant to be played with people, right? Yeah. So after you get this first, especially if people around you locally, like you can look at each other, you can talk and touch each other, it's a very, very interesting experience. And like Gabriel said, it has this clicking moment for it, because it's surprisingly deep.
Right now in beta, like the testers, they're doing some pretty great stuff. They're making builds between characters that, since they're combining perks and whatnot to get through the toughest parts, it's pretty awesome.
Some of the beta guys, they kind of like jump to Dungeon Master right away, but it becomes such a richer experience for you to jump to the Dungeon Master seat after you kind of have experienced a lot of the hero's point of view, because you start to see things their way. You kind of twist that, and so you know what's the most annoying thing you can do, right? That tiny moment where to screw up a revive that is going on, the moment you can push the guy away right when he was doing something to help his friend. You know how to screw the guy. It gets that much more interesting.
Yep.